Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through my tips for round 13 and also previewing reviewing my tips for round 13 I should say, and then doing my tips for round 14 in what was a really bad week for round 13, in which I got 4 out of 8, a total score now of 75 tips out of probably 11 rounds fully and a couple of bye rounds, so probably something like, I would say, almost 100 tips or so, 115 tips, maybe, somewhere like that. It's probably 12 full rounds or something like that worth of tips, so that's 98 and a couple of, so yeah, probably about 110, so 75 out of 110, something like that. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So the tips for last week started off horrifically. Adelaide. When your season is on the line, you do not go and lose to a team that is 17th. That has won one game all year, which no one knows how they did it, against Sydney, in that of Richmond. I had them winning by 14, Adelaide. They lost by 8, so I was 22 points off there. Richmond, maybe I underestimated them a little bit just because they are injury-stricken. Then we go to Western Bulldogs against Brisbane. I think I flagged that Western Bulldogs could easily lose this game, and they did. I had them winning by 15. They lost by 43. I was 58 points off. Well off. 10 goals off, basically. Then you have Hawthorn versus GWS. What a pick this was. Hawthorn against the odds against GWS. My only good pick up until the Swans game. That's how bad my tipping was this round. Hawthorn against Sydney. GWS, and I had Hawthorn by 13. They ended up winning by 6 on a last-minute free kick from Tom Green, which wasn't good for both my Supercoach and fantasy sides. But job done. Hawthorn won. I mean, if Kalshidi hadn't taken it through basically by touching it on the line, they would have won easier. West Coast Eagles against North Melbourne. I had West Coast by 20. They ended up losing this game, which was surprising. Maybe I forgot that Harley Reid wasn't playing. So Harley Reid and Elliot Yeo, whenever they don't play with each other, West Coast don't seem to be able to win. But I thought over at Optus Stadium they'd be able to. But then again, I also didn't realise that they kicked 2 goals 15 in the first 3 quarters. Then I tipped Gold Coast away from home. And why did I do that? Because I had faith in them when I shouldn't have had faith in them. Gold Coast against St Kilda. Gold Coast ended up losing by 3 points. I had Gold Coast by 18, so I was 21 points off there. Sydney against Geelong. Well, this tip looked absolutely horrific after the first 30 minutes of this game. When Sydney were down, they didn't kick a goal till the 8 minutes to go marker, 8:55 to go in the second quarter. Then they piled on 107 points in the subsequent, 46 minutes of game time, 47 minutes of game time that there was, which would have amounted to about 75 minutes. So 90 minutes of real time, or something other like that. They legitimately kicked 107 points. When you're going a point over a point an actual minute in real time, that's when you know you're absolutely smashing it. And yeah, they just put Geelong to the sword. It was 107 to, I think, 41 run or something like that. Or 107 to 42 run. And yeah, that's just, the Swans are just, if you looked at that record midweek, their third quarters are ridiculous. They're going at a percentage of 193 in the third quarter and going at a percentage of like 103 in the first. So you just wave the white flag in the third quarter and just say, Swans, we'll give you a 3-goal win in the third quarter. We don't want that 7 or 8 goal quarter that can really damage you that they seem to be doing each week. Essendon against Carlton. Carlton, I said by 13. They won by 26. If Essendon kicked anywhere accurately enough, or Carlton kicked anywhere more inaccurate, this game probably would have flipped, or at least gone closer to the margin that I had predicted. And then you had Collingwood against Melbourne on the King's birthday, and I had Collingwood by 7. They ended up winning by 38 points, so I was 31 points off there. But anyway, let's get into the tips for round 14 and try and make this quick. I mean, it's only like 5 tips, isn't it? Brisbane against St Kilda tonight. I think Brisbane win at the Gabba. I think they're on a push here, and I think St Kilda, they have Wayne Malira out. They also have who else out? I think they have Zach Jones as well as some other guys coming back in. So yeah, they're basically kicking it out of the back with the likes of Schoenmaker and also Bonner. So I just think that Brisbane dominate this game. I think I'm going to go Brisbane by 23 points. against St Kilda, who cannot seem to score, and Brisbane seem to be able to score at the moment. Western Bulldogs against Fremantle. Western Bulldogs have a couple guys out, don't they still? Or are they getting Ed Richards back this week? They still have Norton out, and Sam Darcy's missing as well. I'm going to go Fremantle against the grain at Marvel Stadium. I really like the way that Fremantle are playing at the moment. I do like the way that Clark and Ryan have really started to actually move the ball really quickly. I think that's been an integral part of their ball movement from back half has been an integral part to them actually winning games, moving up the ladder. They are currently, 7th, but I think at the end of this round they could go as high as, they'll jump Geelong. They won't jump, they'll probably jump Essendon, to be honest with you, as Essendon are on the bye as well. So they'll jump 2 teams, it looks like, which, they'll be in a pretty good position. Who did Port have? Port have GWS, who are predicted to beat them. So they could even jump 3 positions, Freo, and be in the 4 by the end of this round. The 4 could be Sydney, Carlton, Collingwood, and Fremantle, which would be an amazing 4, to be honest with you. But anyway, I think Freo win, and did I predict the margin? No, I didn't. I think Freo win by 14 points against Western Bulldogs. Richmond against Hawthorn. I'm backing in Hawthorn at the moment. I know Richmond came off a win against Adelaide, but Adelaide have been really shocking this year. And Hawthorn, I really like their prospects. And Hawthorn could go within 1 game of the 8. Let's be realistic here. They could go, I know that they're 1 game out of the 8 at the moment, but they could really close up here. And yes, they have the bye next week, which will probably mean that they end up in the same position, sort of effectively 2 games out of the 8 still. But I really like the way that they're playing. I really like the midfield that they've got. It's really dynamic at the moment. And if they can sort out their ruck issues, which has basically meant that they don't have a backup ruck, I think that they need to go into the market in the because don't they have Chol? But Chol's not really been doing the great. I don't know. It just felt like last week with them having Nash as the backup, as the secondary ruck, it didn't feel right. So I think they need to probably go out and hunt for another backup ruck somewhere. But it worked out last week against GWS. Hopefully it works out against Richmond. I'm going to go Hawthorn by 23 points. Then you got Adelaide against Sydney. I'm going Sydney. I'm going to go again with my usual tip of under, or at least what I underplaying the Swans maybe a little bit. And I know that this will be a tough game just because for the Swans, it's on the road. It's at Adelaide. Adelaide is a tough ground to go and play at, Adelaide Oval. Adelaide are sort of playing for their season, and their coach is sort of playing for his job, I would say, almost in a certain extent. So I'm going to go Sydney by 17 points. North Melbourne, Collingwood. Collingwood's going to win. I don't want to go on to points bet, thank you. I want Collingwood to win, and I'm going to say Collingwood by 43 points. I know that Collingwood have their injuries and stuff, and North Melbourne just won against West Coast, but North Melbourne should have still conceded 100 points to West Coast, and it's West Coast at the end of the day. This is at Marvel Stadium. Collingwood aren't going to have a problem. I think that Collingwood, with Nick Dacos being fit, they may run a tag or something on Dacos with like a Simpkin or something, but yeah, I just think that Collingwood win this, and I'm going to go Collingwood to win by 43 points, as I said. Then you've got GWS against Port Adelaide at Ingy Stadium, or however you say that. I'm going to go GWS in this game. I think Port Adelaide are definitely in a better run almost at this point. Do I actually want to go GWS? Because they just beat Geelong, lost to Western Bulldogs, lost to Essendon, lost to Sydney, who have Port beaten. They lost to Carlton, but Carlton are a really good side. Beat North Melbourne, beat Hawthorn. That was a really good comeback. And now looking back on it, beat Geelong and lost to Adelaide. This one's a tough one. I just think that Port Adelaide, I don't think, travel the best, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go with GWS in this one. I know that I'll probably get this one wrong, but I'm going to go GWS by 20 points. And that pretty much is the video there, going through all of the tips for the round. And I guess I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the Brisbane Lions versus St Kilda fantasy recap. So I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.